Hi, this is Kanaya, and today we're going to talk about how should you talk to children. When talking to children, it's important to use age-appropriate language, actively listen, and model respectful communication. Focus on positive language, empathy, and understanding their perspective. Avoid yelling, condescending tones, and dismissive language. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Do's: active listening, make eye contact, and show genuine interest, and encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings. Age appropriate language. Use words like Use words they understand and avoid jargon, meaning like difficult to understand. So that means like jargon means avoid explaining things that are difficult for them to understand. That's what jargon is. So jargon are two complex terms. Positive reinforcement: praise good behavior and efforts, focusing on the positive aspects of their actions. Empathy and understanding: try to see things from their point of view and validate their emotions. Respectful tone: speak calmly, clearly, and with respect, even when even when addressing challenging behavior. Even Even when addressing challenging behaviors. Model good communication. Use polite language, apologize when needed, and demonstrate respectful interactions with others. Set, set clear expectations. Clearly communicate boundaries and expectations, but also explain the reasons behind them. Make it a conversation. Encourage dialogue by asking open-ended questions and allowing them to respond without interruptions. Positive language. Phrase negative statements into positive ones. For example, instead of don't run, say please walk. So that's a positive way to say it, like please walk. Yeah, that's what you can tell children. So just in case if they run in the house or if they run in school, stuff like that. Quality time. Dedicate time to spend with your children. Engaging in activities they enjoy and actively participating. Use role playing. Practice social situations with your child to help them develop communication skills. Don'ts. Don't yell or raise your voice. Yelling can be frightening and ineffective. Use a calm and firm tone. Don't use condescending language. Avoid talking down to children or making them feel inferior. Don't dismiss their feelings. Acknowledge and validate their emotions, even if you don't fully understand them. Don't interrupt. Allow them to finish their thoughts before responding. Don't use labels or generalization. Avoid labeling children as bad or making negative generations about their behavior. Don't use harsh language. Avoid using words that are hurtful or disrespectful. Don't focus on don't focus only on problems. Balance discussions about challenges with positive feedback and encouragement. By following these tips, you can create a positive and supportive environment that fosters open communication and healthy relationships with children according to parenting resources. So that's the rules when you are talking to children. So that's the rules of how you should talk to children. So now, even though that sometimes children doesn't children has a hard time understanding, and they have sensitive issues that bothers them. So let me see. Let's before we know what age appropriate language is, let me see what disabilities does children has. So let me see what this is. Disabilities does children have. So children can have a wide range of disabilities, broadly categorized as development, physical, sensories, or behavioral, emotional. These can include conditions like autism spectrum disorder and intellectual disability, cerebral palsy, let's see, cerebral, let's see, cerebral, let's see, cerebral palsy, let's see, cerebral palsy, pose, palsy, sub, let's see, cerebral palsy, hearing loss, and various learning disabilities. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Autism spectrum disorder affects social interaction, communication, and behaviors. Intellectual disability, characterized by limitations by intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior. Cerebral palsy affects movement and coordination. Other developmental disabilities include conditions like Fragile X syndromes and Tourette syndromes. Physical disabilities. In fact, developmental disabilities are at this part. Physical disabilities. Set, cerebral palsy, also mentioned above, can cause a range of physical impairments. Spinal cord injury can result in pa- let's see, paraplegia, paraplegia, or qua or or quadriplegia quadriplegia, muscular muscular dystrophy, a group of genetic diseases that cause progressive muscle weakness, amputation, loss of a limb. Other conditions: cardiac conditions, cystic fibrosis, paralysis, paralysis, wait, let me see, paralysis, paralysis, coma, and stroke can cause physical disabilities, sensory loss, sensory disability. Hearing losses ranges from mild to profound. Deaf, blindness, severe hearing and vision loss. Visual impairments range from mild to severe. Learning disability, dyslexia, difficult with reading. Um, dyscalculia, dyscalculia, difficult with math. Um, dysgraphia, difficult with writing. Or let's see.
Auditory processing disorder.
Let's see.
Auditory
Auditory process disorder, difficulty interpreting visual information. Dyslexia, dyslexia. Let's see. Dyspraxia, difficult with fine motor skills. Uh, aphasia, aphasia, or aphasia, dys, dysphasia, aphasia, and aphasia, dysphasia, difficulty with language, behavioral emotional disability, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, anxiety disorders, including OCD, depression and bipolar disorder, trauma and stress related related disorders. This is not an exhaustive list, and many children may have combinations of disabilities. So that might be true, but I don't know yet unless you see them, what they have, and what you can help them with. Remember, they're little kids, so they don't know yet how things are supposed to go. So they might need to go and get help to see what their needs are, you know? So let's see. So let's talk about what's age appropriate. Let's see what age appropriate language means. And I'll tell you about it. And I'll tell you. Age appropriate language refers to using words, so age appropriate language refers to using words, phrases, and communication styles that are suitable for the developmental stage and understanding of a particular age group, whether it's children, adolescents, or adults. It involves tailoring your language to be easily understood and relevant to the audience, avoiding overly complex terms or topics that might be confusing or inappropriate. Key aspects of age appropriate language. Cognitive development. Consider the child's ability to understand concepts, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Emotional development. Be mindful of the child's development maturity and capacity to handle certain topics or situations. Social development. Reflect on the social norms and expectations for the age group, such as politeness, respect, and age appropriate communication styles. Maturity level. Adjust your language based on the individual's overall maturity, which may not always align perfectly with their chronological age. Why is age appropriate language important? Effective communication. When language is tailored to the audience and ensures that messages are understood, promoting clear and effective communication. Positive learning environment. In educational setting, age-appropriate language fosters a supportive environment where children feel comfortable asking questions and participating in discussions. Social and emotional development. Using appropriate language helps children learn social skills, emotional regulation, and positive communication patterns. Building trust and rapport. When adults use age appropriate language with children, it can help build trust in a positive relationship. A. Examples of age appropriate language in early childhood. Using simple sentences, concrete words, and familiar examples when explaining concepts. And adolescents, being respectful and acknowledging their development maturity while still providing guidance and boundaries. And professional settings, adjusting your language when communicating with colleagues or clients or stakeholders of different ages and backgrounds. So let me see. Do you pronounce this? Let me see. Pronounce as adolescents. Adolescents. Let's see. Adolescents. Yes. Adolescents. Adolescents. Let's see. Let me read this part over. And adolescents, being respectful and acknowledge their development maturity while still providing guidance and boundaries. So, age appropriate is a good way to explain it. So, what is meant by appropriate language? The term covers words and phrases that are okay to use for a variety of reasons. There are several different factors that can determine whether language is appropriate or not for any given situation. And in this teaching wiki, well, well, we can see like so now because of the fact that we use the reason why we use the reason why we use age appropriate language so that it can ensure children feel more secure in their environment, in turn helping them to feel more confident in expressing themselves. So right, so let's see. If your dad or someone was yelling or picking on their children or using or using words that are not okay, like lecturing words. Let me see what this means, like lecturing words. So let's see, lecturing words to children. Let's see what they could say about that. Let's see. So let's see. To children, examples. Let's see. So it says a lecturing tone. So let's see what are examples of lecturing to children is. So let's see. So let's see what a lecturing tone is and how it could affect children. So let's see. A lecturing tone with children can be avoided by focusing on positive reinforcement and descriptive language. Instead of saying, "Stop running," you could say, "Please walk inside so you don't trip." Or instead of, "Don't touch that," you could say, "That's a hot stove. It could hurt you if you touch it." Here are some examples how to rephrase common lecturing phrases. Instead of, "Don't be so messy," try, "Let's keep, let's try, let's try to keep our play area tidy so it's easier to find things." Instead of, "Why are you always so slow?" Try, "Let's try to be a bit quicker getting ready so we have more time to play." Instead of, "You didn't listen to me." It sounds like you're yelling, right? So we want to use age appropriate language. So, yes. Try, "I need you to listen when I'm talking. It's important for our safety and for learning." Instead of, "You're being so silly." Try, "I see you having fun with that toy." I see you having fun with that toy, but let's be careful with it. Instead of, instead of, "You always making a mess." Try, "Let's clean up the toys before we start a new activity." Key principles to remember. Focus on the positive. Highlight what highlight what the children should do rather than what they shouldn't. Be specific. Be suspect. Be specific. Be specific. Explain exactly what behavior is expected and why. Use descriptive language. Help children understand the consequences of their actions. Be patient and consistent. It takes time for children to learn new behaviors. Encourage and support. Let children know you believe they can make positive choices. So yes. So yes. So like I say, if you see your dad or anyone else is using dismissive language towards your children, then you can let them know that we need to use age appropriate language so that we ensure children understand and make them feel valued. So that's the number one tip right there. You see? Gave you that number one tip that you guys should know. Use age appropriate language when you're talking to people, right? It's not only just children, it can be adults, teenagers, kids, elderly, everybody. So it can be anybody. It can be anybody that you get along with or stuff like that. Even even like your counselors or your teachers or the students and stuff like that. We should always use age appropriate language. Everywhere that you go, you have to use those appropriate language. So yes. So you say if you or someone use 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 this dismissive so which is dismissive language. Let me see to your children. Let me see what more tips I can give you guys. If someone was talking to your children that way, let's see. When your child experiences dismissive language from their dad or another person, it's critical to address it constructively. You can respond by validate your child's feelings, gently gently correcting the dismissive language, and reinforcing positive communication patterns. It's also important to address the issue with the person using the dismissive language, either privately or with your child present, depending on the situation. Here's a more here's a breakdown of how to handle this situation. Number one. Number one, validate your child's feelings. Acknowledge their emotions and let them know it's okay to feel hurt or upset. Use phrases like I understand you're feeling sad, disappointed, or it's okay to feel that way when someone says that. Avoid minimizing their feelings by saying things like, don't be silly, or it's not a big deal, because you never know what a child is going through, so don't make those words to make it seem like it's okay or it's not a big deal. So, no, these two phrases are good. I understand you're feeling so and so. It's okay to feel that. So it's okay to feel so and so when someone says that. So yes, we wanna help. We wanna help the child, not minimize their feelings and say, "Oh, don't be silly," or "It's not a big deal." So yes, that could really hurt their feelings. So we don't want to use those words. Number two, gently correct the dismissive language. If if appropriate, explain to the person or your child, if they are old enough, that their words are dismissive and hurtful. You can use I statements to express how the language affects you and your child. I feel concerned when I hear you say that because it makes our child feel like their feelings don't matter. Remind them that everyone has valid Remind them that everyone has valid emotions and that it's important to show respect for each other's feelings. Number three, reinforce positive communication. Model respectful language and communication with your child and others. Teach your child how to express their feelings calmly and assertively. So, yes, we gotta go easy on the children. Because remember, they're just little children. They're adorable. Yes. Focus on building a supportive and validating environment where everyone feels comfortable expressing themselves. Number four, address the situation with the other person, if needed, privately. If you feel comfortable, talk to the person privately about their behavior Explain the impact of their words and suggest alternative ways to communicate. So you might ask this person, can I talk to you for a minute? Um, let's see, what else I can say. I heard that you've been saying hurtful things to my child and it's been hurting her. And, or, I'm gonna teach you how to start it and you can take it from there. So, yes, and you can say from there, so yes. So you can say, can I talk to you for a minute? And you say what you normally say. So you can say, I heard that you've been saying hurtful things to my child and she didn't appreciate that she was being bullied or she's been attacked. So yes. So with your child present, if the situation is serious or if your child is old enough, you may want to address the issue together. This can help your child see how to stand up for themselves and others. So right? So let's say you're the adult in a situation that's helping your child stand up for yourself and then you say, so I would suggest you keep your tone down when you're talking to us. Or I suggest you don't use dismissive language towards us because that's not how we should feel and this is not how we should be treated. So stuff like that you could say. So say that if you're teaching a child how to stand up for themselves, then they'll understand what it feels to stand up for themselves. So yes. So it says document incidents if the dismissive language is a pattern or if there are other concerning behaviors. It may be helpful to document the incidents and seek advice from a professional. Like record everything that was being said or what was being done, and you can show like the manager or the HR manager the video that you recorded and say, this person said this or this person said this. That shows the person was using the dismissive language towards you and your children. And remember, your children are safe and you're keeping them safe by a person attacking them, right? So we just gotta make sure that we keep them safe in all times, wherever you are. Either at a family member's house, either in public places and stuff like that. Always keep them protected. So remember, so number 5, remember to be patient. It may take time for the person to change their behavior, so be patient and consistent in your approach. Seek support. If you're struggling with this situation, don't hesitate to seek support from a therapist, counselor, or a trusted friend. So I hope I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, if you need more help dealing with if you need help with handling with your struggling children, I'll make I'll make more videos about it. So remember to use remember to use appropriate language when you are talking to your children. So I hope you like, subscribe, and comment down below on my YouTube video. Thanks for watching.